Hey guys, RC here. Welcome back to Let's Play Banished and the Village of Restlawn. This is episode 11, and you may remember from last episode we have expanded up to 11 people, and we have 6 children that are currently growing up. Let's see. Yeah, we're currently on 2 times speed. Oh, unpause it. Alright, we do have, let's see, I haven't played this in about a week, so let me catch up here. Our school's shut down. We have a stone house at the intersection of town, that's right, and we have another wood house going up, and we have both of them paused. And again, just looking at them, you can see the foundation is laid, which means they have all the materials there. All they have to do is build it. Now, what we have to find, I do have a 13-year-old, oh wait, the 13-year-old is a girl. I have a 7-year-old boy. I have a 7-year-old boy. I have a 9-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl. Okay, so when this boy here, when Maxwelly becomes 10, that's when we want to open up one of these houses. And we should get a trigger that he has become of age and joined the workforce. Let's see what else is going on. So we have our forestry lodge up and running. And again, that cuts and plants trees, so that we should start seeing a real condensement of trees within the borders of that shed. It'll be useful at some point if I can mine out the rest of that stone. So let's do that in some small chunks. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that, doing just that, but we'll clear out a little bit at a time, and then eventually just work our way around. We'll get some of this iron out of here, although that may be, that's outside of the, let's see, how about we do that and that. We'll get a little bit of iron, and that should be good for right now, and then that'll open up some more planting space. Let's see, we have a hunter, so we are working on production for leather. Good. Now we do have a blacksmith. We're at 50 tools. We do have a clothier. I do not have an employee there though, because we're in and out of materials. So let me, how are we doing on firewood? 218. I'm going to take that person and make them a tailor for the time being. Let them come down and get those 6 leather, make a few more coats, and that will be useful. We need to get coats and stuff on people to get them warm. We do have a trader, and I forgot to look up if that will accept anybody. I think what I'm going to do, how's our farming looking? I just can't afford anybody from there. I can't afford anybody from anywhere, really. Maybe the tailor, when she's done, I'll put her down. I guess I need to put somebody here full time, although I don't really have a lot to trade either. Maybe I shouldn't have built that this early. Oh well, we will just run with it. Crops are coming in, some faster than others. Although I guess that's just a graphical thing. They progress at the same rate. They've already worked this side, and they're going to get bigger coming this way as they continue to work. And that's what it looks like. These are getting a little bit bigger here. So that must just be a graphical reference. Let's see. Where is, alright, she's idling. Why are you idling? Do we not have any leather, but no coats either? Oh, okay. There is the leather that evidently just got there because it was not there a second ago. I swear I didn't see it. All right, let's see. So we are working. Hopefully we're working. Nope, she's idling right now. Come on, you got some leather in there. Make some coats. You can do it. We certainly don't have any clothes in storage. All right, well, we'll let that go for a while. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay, she's working now. All right. You got to unpause the game. That's tip number 1. Unpause the game, or they won't do anything. All right, so our herbalist is up against the cap. 12. I'm going to go ahead and increase this. I don't need that many. I'm going to increase this to 200 just to get her working again. Again, I think you've got to have somebody full-time there, so I would guess the trader's going to be the same way, that if there's nobody there. Oh, and Maxwelly just became... So let's unpause this house right there. And we do have... I don't have any builders, so I'm going to assign him as a builder to his own house. And that should get him up there to build that. And then that should get him married off to this older woman. She's 14. Oh my God, she's like an old spinster in the game. Alright, so the tailor is done. Let's go ahead and put her in the trader. We only have 1, but that's okay. You can see it needs 6 to fill it up. But, yeah, we'll see if we can get 1 trade to come in and then see how that works. And make a decision at that point if it's needed. I mean, we will run it definitely at some point in time, but right now that may not be that time. Do I hear work going on? Yes, I do. So the new kid's working. He's building his house. I would say he's working pretty fast too. He must be anxious to get his new wife and move in there and have some privacy. Good for him. Alright, so that should go up here pretty quickly. And then I can move him into... Now, I chose this house because I still have the need for people out here. So this will still be... But it'll be a mid-range house that they could come in either direction for work purposes. Okay, so I do have someone here. They're not doing anything because I haven't assigned anything to be brought there. That's okay. Oh, looks like he was cutting down a tree there. Good. Have they started any of that stone? Doesn't look like it. That's okay. And we have 11% more to go. So that'll be up and running pretty quickly, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with him. Now, let's see. She's going to be married, so that gives me a 9-year-old boy. I need to see what the next group's going to be. Alright, so I have a 9-year-old boy, 2 9-year-old boys, a 3-year-old child, 3-year-old girl, a 2-year-old girl, and you saw right when I clicked on it, Maxwelly disappeared. So that means that he's moved in with... Now, oh, she's 15 now, just an old spinster. Wonder if they had to pay a big dowry to get her married off. So farmer and fisherman. So they do have a little hike out to their jobs, but that's okay. Let's see, so I don't need the builder now. So we'll undo that. And let's put you on hunting duty right now. That'll be good. So that's going to be, wow. All right, so I'm expecting them to die off here pretty rapidly. I don't think we're going to see people living past 60 very often, and certainly 70 would be an outlier. So even their children are now getting up there in age. But we have a 9-year-old. But we have 2 9-year-old boys. So somewhere or other we lost a girl, or we didn't get a girl. I don't know which one. Yeah, so there's a 6-year gap there for those 2 boys. So 8, so they'll be 17. So I am thinking this might actually be a good time. Let me take off that hunter. I'm going to open the school back up, and we're going to make this a teacher. Because if they've got to wait that long to get married and start producing kids, then maybe I take advantage of that and have them start back to school. Maybe. It still keeps them out of the workforce. Well, let me turn that on. I got to turn that building back on. I had it turned off. So now it actually has the need for a teacher. Yeah, I'll do that later. Sorry about that. I wonder. So again, it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, I have years that I could educate them before they can become child-producing people, but I still lose all that time in the workforce. But maybe that's a good point to do that. So we'll go ahead and start the education process. It certainly won't hurt us, and it will definitely help us in the long run. And I think we've got a pretty stable setup right now. Let's see, have we gotten any more leather? We have venison going on. We've got 1,100 potatoes, venison, mushroom, fish. I'd like to see more fish, but I think that certainly needs to be one of our staples. But that is what it is. Let me see. Picking up resources. So even though I have them marked as farmers, they're not going to be farming because they can't get another crop in. So I don't know what they're going to be doing right now, and I'm trying to figure that out. Oh, okay, so they're just becoming basically general laborers, so they're going to go clear out this stuff, and that's good. We'll let them go ahead and do that, and then that'll open up more area for some tree planting from our forestry. That'll be good. We are a little low on stone anyway. Okay, so that's going to be good. That's working out well. Not sure. How about if I... Oh, that's why the road went like that, because you can't go over this. Can I build a tunnel there? No, not at all. Alright, so you just had this raised area that the road had to go around. I was trying to figure out why it had done that, but that is why. Let's see. Alright, so she's up to 200 now. That's awesome. So, and again, you've got to remember, when you set these limits, you've got to raise it as you start to progress. So, like we're at 2,100 food. I'm going to go ahead and raise this to 3,000 now because I don't want them to quit working. The food evidently does not spoil, so it does not hurt to continue producing. Now, you don't need to overproduce, but again, once you get up to a certain level, if you because we're still going to be taking food away from that count, as they bring more inventory into their house. Firewood, potatoes, roots. So they haven't even touched fish yet, which they should. Venison, berries. Okay, so they're bringing in a little bit more. All right, school's in session. We've got the 2 boys or students there now. All right, so there's really not much else happening right now. Uh-oh. Pause the game. We just had an issue. Maynardo the herbalist has died of old age, and we don't have a laborer to replace him. So I need to take one of my foresters maybe and make them the herbalist. There. Huh. Alright, so let's see if we come out here, and there we are. We have our first gravestone. 1 grave. So Maynardo, which was one of our initial settlers, has died of old age. I wish that you could actually read the grave and see what it says, if it was engraved or something. But there he is. He's front and center, right at the head of the cemetery, right in the middle. So that's a fitting place for our first person. I believe he was 60. He was a couple of years older than Partha. I think he just made 60. So Partha is 59. And she's in good health, but just again, old age in this game. Age in this game is very much set on early settlers, where you were getting married at 12, 13 years old, but you didn't live to be 70, 80, 90 years old either. So the game certainly mimics that. So I wonder, that would be weird. Here's the matriarch of the family of the town, basically. It was her and Maynardo that beget the first children, Lorist and Patrina. And I wonder, she's 56. I wonder if she marries one of these boys. I don't know how the game handles that. Now, she's in a house. She is single, so she could take another husband. We don't control that. There is a space for another person to move into that house should they choose to. I just don't know how the game will handle that. So let's see. We've got the game unpaused. Yes, we do. So she can marry one of these kids, and if she can still make babies, they might do one more before she passes away. But that's I have a feeling that they probably have a maximum child rearing status in here. And then of course now, when she dies, this house will become vacant, and will give a house that someone else can move into. So that would save us from having to build up our fill-in house. Bryleen was born. Not sure what family that was. Let's see. Okay, that was our newest couple, Maxwelly and Maudia. So they have had a child, Bryleen, a female, which is good. We needed some more females. Let's see, what are our farmers doing? Picking up resources. Okay, so even if you're not listed as a laborer, you will still, if your job has no need for you, you will walk around and do some of the general work, mining the stone and things of that nature. So what I might do then is get a little bit more of that and a little bit more of that. No, come on. There we go. Just didn't want that in the way. Let's see. How's our stockpiles? 38%. 26%, so we're doing okay there. I believe we're set for 300 log limit, so we're only halfway there. So it's going to take them a little bit of time to get that going on. So let's see. If I think about this, Maynardo was the patriarch of the family. He had these kids, so that's one generation. Then they would have had these kids, that's 2, 3, 4. Well, no, that wouldn't even be right because I don't remember all the lineages, and unfortunately the game doesn't track that. But all right, so we know they had 2 kids and they got married, so that's one generation. Now I think they had some additional kids, but then they had kids, and then those kids have had kids. So we're at least 3, possibly 4 generations living here now in our settlement. We do have the 2 students going on at the schoolhouse. Nope, that's the gatherer's hut. There we are. And I am giving some consideration town services. I've got a school. Did I build a well somewhere? I may not have. How about we build a well? That would be good. It would come in handy for sure. Alright, I'm going to build a well. $62, $124, $48. I want a town hall or a chapel. How about... No, I can't build that there. Can I build it there? No, the road's right there. I could build it right there, though, right alongside the road. And then I've got the cemetery. That would make sense, because then the cemetery is right next to it. Let me see. Let me zoom in here. Alright, so that's the road, and that's the road. Well, I don't have a road, but that's where I could extend the road. How about if I go ahead and put that there, and I will extend the road out that way. That gives us a little something to work on, gives us a few more people. Now I don't have any people to become the priest or the cleric, but hey, we could at least build it. Maybe if we build it, they will come. If you know what movie that's a reference to, put it in the comments. If we build it, they will come. Alright, so we've got the farmland. It's the heart of winter. Happiness is back up. Alright, we're starting to clear the land of the resources to free that space up. That's good. And we've got the 2 farmers basically doing all that work. Now, we need 8 to do all the work, but, you know, we make do with what we have. Heavy, heavy snowfall. Although it doesn't look like it's accumulating on the ground too well. How are we doing on time here? We're at 24 minutes. I tell you what, let's go ahead and put a cut in right here. I'm going to probably go ahead and play ahead a little bit until we see something happening. Unfortunately, there's nothing like in Dwarf Fortress or some of the other games where, you know, things just go nutso, you know, with invasions and whatnot. But, you know, I'll play ahead a little bit. We can get a little more going on, and then we'll come back and revisit that in the next episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.